Some common examples of trademarks are probably things that you see in your day-to-day life, maybe even looking at the computer screen right now. Things like Apple or Samsung or things on your car like Toyota or Honda. They all tell you a lot about where that product came from and what you can associate it with. They don't just have to be the word either. So oftentimes we think of trademarks that are stylized. If I think about Amazon, every single time I think about it, I think of Amazon with that arrow underneath. So there's a lot of different ways that you can bring a trademark to life, even beyond just the word. Another thing to consider is that trademarks don't have to be something that labels a physical product. So there are some common trademarks out there that are applied to services, things like FedEx or Google or Visa or the logo that goes with BBC, like the British Broadcasting Corporation. So there's lots of them that are associated with services as well as just products. And then you can get a little bit more abstract with some trademarks as well. So sometimes a trademark doesn't have a word in it at all. You can have trademarks that are just a visual design that consumers still associate with your product. Things like the Nike swoosh or the arches, the golden arches that you think of with McDonald's, or the siren logo for Starbucks, the two-tailed mermaid, right? And you see these things, you associate them with a brand, even if no words are involved. And in some cases, and these are some rarer cases, trademarks can even be things like a color, if it's very, very well known to consumers. Things like the Tiffany blue box, right? Or they could be a sound, like the station chimes for NBC. It can be a video, like if you turn on your computer and you see the Microsoft Windows video come up during your startup, that can be a trademark as well. So they can get a little bit more abstract, although those are certainly less common. And we can see that trademarks can evolve over time as well. So if you see things like the Google Doodle, the Google font, those are ways that the Google trademark, the logo that you know and love, can evolve a little bit over time. Working at Procter & Gamble, I know I've seen it happen. One of my clients, I like to say, is Mr. Clean. Who I've worked with before, and he certainly updated his trademarked look. So there's a lot of things that change over time. One other thing to consider too about trademarks is that they can be linked to different owners. So the example that comes to mind for me is Delta, right? If I tell you Delta is a brand, you might be thinking of the airlines, which would make sense. But you might also think of Delta faucets, or you might think of Delta Dental, which is, dental services company. So it's very possible for trademarks to still function as a trademark, but for the same exact mark to be associated with different goods and still not cause an infringement conflict.